Hey guys, how you doing? All right, here we are. First week of quarantine, or shelter at home. I shouldn't call it quarantine. We don't want to misuse those words. We are shelter at home. We are not enforced quarantine. And I'm going to see who's coming up. So let's see. Was it a week ago? 2 weeks ago? It was 2 weeks ago. Andrea and I did our Saturday night Talisman and Cauldron after dark. And here we go. Everybody's here. Beth, Swan. All right. I had predicted 2 weeks. Andrea said 3. I think we're peaking. We're 2 weeks from that time. Peaking in numbers. Certain cities, New Orleans, send some good energy down to them because New Orleans is getting hit really hard. Mardi Gras, I guess, exacerbated the spread, and it's bad down there. I think I may have read that they were turning part of a sports venue. I'm trying to think which dome that was, that they were turning that into an area for a triage or something. I saw that quickly before I was running up here or down here, I should say, to do this. I'm all discombobulated. I also shared some fake news. I'm sorry. Queen Elizabeth does not have the coronavirus. So I apologize for sharing that news. That was also something I did very quickly last minute, and always regret doing that. Always regret not vetting my stuff. Nicoletta, Carrie, Rosemary, hey guys. I will say, I made 2 predictions earlier in the year that if we're ever going to see a revolution in this country, that 2020 would be the year. We're early yet, it's only March. And that this would be the year that we would have hard evidence of alien interaction. And I said that it would come from one of the 3 major governments, America, good God, major governments, major countries, the United States, China, or Russia. I believe that we will have, if we don't actually visibly see it ourselves on a very large scale, I believe that we will be told. I think it's going to be Russia, honestly. I think they don't want to one-up us on this and beat us to the news. So that's what's going on. So, hey guys. Okay, so you got 2 neighbors with coronavirus, Nicoletta. That's hideous. I have no words for this. I don't want to lend to conspiracy theory. Don't want to lend to any negative energy. I think it was more than just about a virus. I think it was about bringing down financial systems. It's done that amazingly well. Trying to view it positive as a reset, view it as a positive in terms of the slowdown and the environmental impact it's having in a very positive way. I think also anyone that was denying that humans were, I'm not tired. I'm Beth. I'm really discombobulated. I'm not well put together. I'm not used to being off this much time. So, and I'm nervous. I'm nervous. I had shared with somebody. I think I talked about it on one of the videos that I used to stammer as a child. So I'm trying not to do that. I'm trying to be very conscious of my words, which then can make it very awkward in how I'm talking. So sorry about that. But I think it's going to be very hard for anyone to deny that humans have had an impact, a very negative impact on the environment, and that this is man-made. A lot of the awful pollution that we're seeing and impact on global warming or global earth changes, because some areas are getting colder, some are getting warmer. Ice caps are definitely melting. So there's that. I just don't know what to say. Like everybody else, just watching it unfold, and trying so hard to get a feel or a read on the situation that's just changing minute by minute. And watching how, not just how the president's reacting, but then how different governors across the nation are reacting. Some truly downplaying it, others, really locking things up tight. And it's very hard. Our own governor of Connecticut has threatened to, stop people at the border in New York, cars that are coming in, people that are coming in infected and bringing it here. So, I mean, there's talks of closures on the borders. I guess what I would urge people to do is obviously track the disease through the CDC website. That's your most accurate source on numbers, as far as I can tell. Also, pay attention to what's going on around you, your neighborhood. Take a look out the windows periodically. Make sure, see what's happening out there. Touch base with family and friends, wherever they are, scattered as they may be. The post office is still operating. If someone needs something, you can still get a package out, although I'll tell you things are taking fully twice as long to get where they're supposed to be. I sent out some packages earlier in the week that are still en route. So know that. But if someone is truly desperate for toilet paper or supplies or whatever you have, you can put them in a box and ship them out. At least they don't weigh very much. Short of that, on Facebook and social media, watching people share recipes, watching people share resources, it's been heartening. I mean, we've seen just wonderful examples, how people can come together, how people can self-police themselves and entertain each other, and that's been wonderful to see. I've been trying hard not to share the bad news or the scary stories, the really shitty things that we're seeing, people coughing and what they're doing on food, and someone coughed in a cop's face. It's just mean, awful crap that I don't know. I don't know why or how you'd want to be doing that. So that's that. Please watch your social identity. Keep watching your bank account statements. Go online. A lot of identity theft going on right now. A lot of that. And unfortunately, it's also very hard to get it rectified because a lot of banks are running it half-mast. So just really keep an eye on your accounts, what you're spending, where you're spending it. Okay, watch your cards. And I guess that's what I've got. I really don't have a lot right now. For me, I can't believe how much I've slept this week. I've been going 14, 16 hours a day for about a decade now. Seriously, no vacation, nonstop. And so I've just really slowed down, and between phone readings and thank you for those guys that have been calling and trying to fill orders for people that didn't stock up, closed, came pretty quickly, and a lot of the shop got really bought out. I still have sages and stuff, but I mean, a lot of things got cleared out. So it was a great for that. And what else? There's no shop to talk about. I can't talk shop of a closed shop. China and I are talking about maybe getting a full moon ritual together that we can do either live or for YouTube. So that would be something to maybe think about. And that's what I've got, guys. One thing it's illustrated is that we are far too dependent on foreign vendors, foreign manufacturers, especially when it comes to things like face masks and medical supplies. We're learning very fast and hard that that's a mistake. So, and I always try to buy from local and American families, and I'm proud of that. I'm glad That's the way I've chosen to run my business. So, on that note, I'm shuffling cards, and I am going to do that same 6-card draw again that I did last week. And it seemed to be pretty effective. Right? I think, yeah, that was China's idea, I have to tell you. The full moon ritual would be nice. We could all be together, and we're still looking for an open space that we can have spots, which, we're working on that. So just someone with a field that doesn't mind us gathering. We'll see. Hopefully we'll find one local. There's not enough. I don't think there's enough public ritual. I don't think there's enough of us gathering the way we need to. And while the internet is wonderful, there's something to be said for being face to face and sharing space and sharing sacred space. So, with that being said, I'll do the tarot scopes. If anyone has any questions, please put them in the comments. It's a good day for answering questions, I think. Hey, Allie. All right. Starting with Aries. Birthday Aries. Okay. Well, we start off with judgment. Judgment for me is usually signing contracts, legal issues. Sometimes it can be indicative of a new job, although in this case, with the 4 of Wands and the 7 of Swords, it's almost like Aries is wishing they were someplace else, or this idea of sheltering at home, which the 4 of Wands is certainly a shelter at home card. I'll just show you. It's that one. Okay. So this idea of 7 of Swords has always, for me, been take what you can and save yourself. So this idea of either finding a safe place or making home your safe place. 8 of Wands reversed. I'm sorry, 8 of Wands reversed. 8 of Pentacles reversed. I really am in the world today. Again, being out of work. I mean, that's, and the 8 of Cups is leaving, Star reversed. I want to think for a lot of Aries, it may be that you need to leave where you are and go someplace else, possibly go home. And by home, I mean wherever your families are. There is a sense of and this happens when we have too much time on our hands. There's a sense of reminiscing and almost wistfulness here. Just gonna throw one more card. Knight of Cups reversed. Being separated from your loved ones, I think, is hard on a lot of Aries right now. There's no card that, if I saw the Hermit card, I would speak to loneliness, but there's certainly a sense of missing home, missing creature comforts, feeling thwarted, which is an Aries word, definitely, for not being able to move forward as fast as they want to. And I think also the frustration, the Star reversed, of not knowing when it's going to end, when it goes back to some kind of normal. And I want to say for an Aries, being cooped up in the house is usually a tough call. Even the ones that enjoy being introverts or still don't like being told they can't get out, even, So, I don't know, Aries, I mean, as I always say, there's no death, there's no sickness, there's no calamity here, but there is a sense now of being cooped up and not necessarily being happy about it. Okay, Taurus. start off with the Ace of Cups, the Page of Cups, and the Knight of Pentacles reversed. So again, with a theme, in this case for Taurus, I'm going to say love and children are present, but money not coming in. Again, the Knight of Pentacles reversed. The Two of Wands reversed, not feeling supported. The Fool reversed, not able to move forward. And yet I see the Queen of Wands. That's the friendly, the hard worker, the usually the office cheerleader, the one that keeps things together. And there's Taurus, and Taurus is usually like to work. I'm gonna throw one more, High Priestess. Taurus is so if Aries is in that uncomfortable, I can't move forward place, Taurus is equally uncomfortable because the High Priestess is covering the Queen of Wands. And Taurus isn't always comfortable with intuition, and they're an earth sign. So they get the idea of working, and they understand family, and they understand security. And now I'm watching Taurus tapping into something deeper. And again, frustration, the Fool reversed, the Two of Wands reversed. Of course, money not coming in would never make a Taurus happy. But I'm going to say, with regard to the High Priestess covering the Queen of Wands, it speaks to trying to intuit the security and safety of the people they love. Not just, when will money start rolling in again? But it's more about that for Taurus. It's more about how am I keeping my family safe? How am I keeping people I love safe? I always say my stepmother was a Taurus, and she managed a pretty amazing family. And a very, very tiny budget in Oklahoma. And she managed to make sure everybody was fed and clothed and roof over everybody's head. All right, Gemini, Queen of Swords reversed. The Magician, the World reversed. The Moon reversed, the Two of Swords, and the Three of Pentacles. Well, the Queen of Swords reversed, the top of the reading, is never going to be great. It speaks to a female who is either suffering from some kind of delusions. Remember, swords are air. Air is thought. It also can be someone who is malicious, a female who is vindictive. The Queen of Swords upright is a logic-based female that can be tough. But when you flip it, just like the King of Swords reversed, when you flip those cards, the King of Swords goes from having a military mindset, being very logical, to being a bully. And the Queen of Swords goes from being very logical and very clear thinking to being malicious, vindictive. And yet I'm seeing the Magician and the World reversed. The Moon reversed, Two of Swords. Moon reversed is usually revealing something, usually again of an emotional nature. And we have the Three of Pentacles. Two of Swords is rock in a hard place. One thing that this time that we're kind of being forced to slow down is we're being also forced to see things we may not want to see. And so people that we don't see often or talk to as much, or we can maybe excuse it from the busyness of our life, now we're really having to look at things like mental illness, depression, dementia, early onset, Alzheimer's, addictions. There was a little irony that liquor stores were deemed essential businesses, and that's because we can't have people going into the DTs and withdrawal, and overtaxing the hospitals, so they kept liquor stores and dispensaries open. Okay, well, it's rock in a hard place. So what are you going to do with it now that you've seen some evidence of maybe someone who's not not in full control of their faculties, or if they are, don't care. We're seeing the best and worst of people. And it's interesting too, with Three of Pentacles here. Another thing that we're seeing, and this is something that actually makes me very happy. I have so many friends and so many of you that have kids that are not easy to get to school, whether they have their own ADD, ADHD, or their own anxieties, or learning disabilities, or whatever it is, they don't happily go to school. And they deal with a lot of difficulty with dealing with teachers and counselors. And these kids right now, being home, they're all keyboard oriented. They're really doing well with this school at home. They're actually, it's like a whole different kid. And mornings that were miserable, fighting to get kids dressed in the car and to school or on the bus, suddenly it's just not that difficult. So I think for a lot of people too, that Queen of Swords reversed, the idea of manipulative behavior, of maybe only hearing the negative, because I'm looking at the Three of Pentacles, which can be an education card as well. It's usually being very good at your craft, but I almost want to apply it as maybe trying to intertwine work and school. I did see some notices going out. I have a high school student myself, a sophomore, but like, don't get used to this kind of thing. I go, well, why can't we get used to it? Why can't we homeschool? Connecticut's one of the leading homeschool states. So I think a lot of people are going to be looking at what they heard from school about their kids' behavior and ability to learn, and what they're seeing in their own home as far as their kids' behavior and willingness to learn. Rock in a hard place, not much you can do about it right now. That's true, Gemini. There's not much you can do about it right now. But the world reverse makes me think you're looking at maybe making some big changes. Whether you're dealing with a difficult person, mother, boss, mother figure, that's what the queens usually are. Or Queen of Swords, teachers, counselors. The idea of things revealed, the moon reversed, the world reversed, looking at making big changes in how you live your life and how you integrate work and school. And I love the Master here, because it would really tell me, Gemini, that you got this. And I will tell you, I know a lot of people that homeschool their kids, and it's not as hard as you'd think. You buy a curriculum. I don't know. But it really is about behavior being revealed and changes being made as a result of it, or plans for changes. Again, rock in a hard place, the Two of Swords. Nothing can be done right now. But when this crisis is over, I think you'll want to make changes. So Cancer, here I see the Queen of Cups reversed, the Five of Wands reversed, the Three of Wands. Oh boy. And I'm going to say it's again about inertia. It's really about being stuck in place, wanting to move forward. Probably, there's so much to do, and it's the Three of Wands, and yet, no, nope. Stuck in place, not moving forward, advancements not happening. The Two of Pentacles, juggling money, but I always say it means you had money to juggle. Seven of Wands reversed, and the Eight of Wands. So this really speaks to creativity. A lot of wands here. I still think 2-3 weeks back in the game, back in the races. But for some reason, this is really hard on Cancer. Financially, it certainly is difficult. I'm just going to toss another one here. Page of Wands, more wands. Wow. I'm going to say, as emotionally difficult as this is, Queen of Cups reversed, there's still opportunities. You're still being creative. It looks like you're using your time wisely despite, Cancer is a water sign, but they're very concerned with security. Of the 3 water signs, Cancer pairs well with Taurus. They really, actually, everyone pairs well with Taurus. Don't be silly. Everyone pairs well with Taurus. Taurus is like salt. And we all just do better with a little sprinkle of that. I'm a big fan of Taurus, but you're making use of this time. You're doing something creative. There's something new coming in. I talk to an awful lot of you in readings, and you talk about books you want to write and things you want to do. Here's your chance, guys. I don't see this resulting in job loss, Cancer. If that's what you're worried about, it looks like you might, again, lay off, but it's back to work very quickly. Okay. Leo. I will look at the comments really quickly. Well, actually, okay, so Carrie asks a question. She's an Aries, moon in Leo, rising Scorpio. And actually, your moon in Leo, Carrie, influence a lot of your general personality. Your moon is your emotional needs, and many astrologers put as much, if not more, emphasis on your moon and what house it's in as they do the sun sign. You have to look at what house those 3 big placements are. Obviously, your rising is the first house. Now, I don't put a huge emphasis on the rising sign because it's like the clothes you put on for work. It's the front you put on for people. Is that who you really are? No. But often when someone's guessing your sign, they'll guess your rising because that's what you put out there. You're an Aries, moon in Leo. Now, they're both fire signs. And so it's action oriented, the need to be doing something new, keep doing things new, in initiating, innovating. With a rising Scorpio, you probably make people believe that you'd rather be behind the scenes more than you really should or want to be. People probably have accused you of keeping secrets or not really feel like they know you deeply enough. Even though with Aries and Moon in Leo, I mean, you're right out there. You're pretty much more of an open book. Okay. But again, you need to look at the houses. So in terms of your emotions, what house does that Leo fall in? So Rosemary talks about the crisis, and I agree with you, Rosemary. I really think this was as much about destroying systems, financial systems, as it was about the virus. No, I think they're going to put the country back to work pretty quickly because they're going to have to. They can't sustain. I mean, $1,000 check, $1,200 check. That's a nice thing. For a lot of people, that doesn't even pay their rent or their mortgage, especially depending on where they are. I mean, that's just not going to. It's lovely, thank you, and that'll be great, but it's not enough to sustain people. I know they talk about business loans, but loans are paid back. Pushing out the mortgage, that's great, but that's going to need to be paid eventually. It's not like they're deferring the mortgage, or they're eliminating it for a month or two. You're still going to pay it back, and are they going to be charging interest on those payments? I don't know. Certainly don't. I don't really trust lending institutions and banks a whole lot. So I think they're going to put us back to work as fast as they can, safely. And I'm going to guess, just like the way they're shutting the country down piecemeal, we'll go back to work the same way. We'll go back to work piecemeal. And that's not the greatest way to do things for sure. There should have been one uniform statement, one uniform plan of attack. Didn't happen like that. All right, Leo. I see the Four of Pentacles reversed. I see the Nine of Pentacles reversed. I see the Page of Swords reversed. It's all about lack of money and money not being shared and money not coming in, and that's not great. And I think worse is the Page of Swords reversed, the lack of information coming in. It's one thing to say, okay, we're cutting your hours back, or we're laying off, but it's like, well, how long? What does that mean? The Tower, the Three of Swords, the Six of Swords reversed. I mean, they're not great cards. Understatement here. But they still seem, for me, to do more with money and career. I'm looking at, Pentacle cards here and Wand cards. I'm sorry, Pentacle and Sword cards. Than they do with emotional unhappiness or sickness. I'm going to say for Leo right now, these are very difficult times. King of Pentacles. Well, I like seeing that. The King of Pentacles for me is either someone in the household having money to help out, or sometimes I see King of Pentacles, the way I do the Emperor card, as representing business in general. So I'm going to say, even though this is frustrating and frightening looking at these cards, seeing the King of Pentacles here makes me think that work is pending, work is waiting. There's something solid about where you work. I don't see it folding up. But this is not great. And I do know, well, like my shop closed last Sunday, so it's not even been a week yet. Massage people, hairdressers, I mean, they were out of work far longer. Wait staff were out of work longer. So they're really at this point feeling the need and some level of real desperation. I just do believe that looking at these cards, your industry will be intact, your job will be intact when all is said and done. But that's not helping right now, is it? Just because those are shitty cards. King of Cups reversed. I mean, that's okay. Well, the one thing I would hope that wouldn't be happening there, King of Cups reversed, is that people aren't in their anxiety or depression turning to substances. The King of Cups reversed can be a man who's an alcoholic or an addict. Certainly depression, anxiety. If this reading doesn't pertain to you, if you're not dealing with this, please reach out to extended family members and make sure that they're not struggling with depression, that they're not struggling with real financial need. Make those phone calls. That's one thing we can do. We can reach out and make sure and check on people, because this isn't great. And it is a trickle down, when people are suffering and people are struggling. And so maybe it's not you, maybe it's your ex-husband, maybe it's not you, but it's your brother, but that still impacts the family. Okay. I mean, if an ex-husband lost his job and can't pay child support this month, that's a real problem. If that's, how you make your bills. And Virgo. So for Virgo, I see the Nine of Cups reversed, the Ace of Swords, and the Hangman. Well, with the Two of Cups here. Well, everyone sees the cards differently. And the Nine of Cups, for many people, it speaks to someone being proud of their accomplishments. But I don't read that card that way. I read the Nine of Cups as a man who has a hard time sharing his emotions, someone who is very guarded. But it's reversed with the Ace of Swords, with the Hangman, and the Two of Cups. It could be someone reaching out, someone, I love the Two of Cups in terms of relationships and friendships. I also love the fact it's the Five of Pentacles reversed and the Six of Pentacles, which is receiving help from others. So it's either someone you've been waiting to hear from coming through, financial help coming in, possibly someone that maybe was a friend, could be more. Again, with all this time on our hand, we're doing more texting, we're doing more talking. There's more communication going on. So I think, even though they joke about all the divorces that are going to happen from people being stuck in houses together, I think we're going to see more romances. I think we're going to see people teaming up after this is over and having really gotten to know each other. All that romance is dead stuff, and the hooking up. I mean, there's not a lot of that right now. I would hope. So this idea of people getting to know each other and starting relationships differently. One other thing that I think is changing. But these are good cards either way. Either way, it's someone coming through financially with help that maybe was promised and you've been waiting for, coming through maybe repaying a loan, or just, again, helping out. But yeah, they're good cards. And the Hangman upright, as it is, next to the Ace of Swords, is very powerful. It's waiting, but things coming through in the end. Okay, that's Virgo. Libra. Libra, the Hermit reversed. Well, no one is more sociable than Libra. Libras, that's the house of partnership and marriage, and they are ruled by Venus. I mean, they love interacting with people. Libra, the house of Libra, the house of marriage and partnerships, the seventh house, teaches us how we get along with one another, how we truly pair bond. So a Libra being asked to stay isolated is not going to be a happy Libra. I see the Three of Cups here, which is celebrating, and I'm seeing the Knight of Wands, which is bringing in some wonderful new opportunities, creative opportunities. And Libras also rule areas of arts and beauty, aesthetics. Many Libras go into home decorating. So I'm sure you're enjoying this in terms of fixing up and working around your homes. Many Libras go into makeup and cosmetology, but they also, many Libras go into legal. They are the scales, after all. Balance. They're very good at seeing both sides of the coin. They're an air sign. They're still cerebral, and they enjoy a good debate. Lovers reversed, Seven of Cups reversed, the Wheel. I think Libra is missing somebody. I think Libra is really not enjoying this enforced isolation. I think Libra imagination might be taking off with them. That's not great. The Seven of Cups can be illusions, delusions, and I just don't see a reason for it here, except that you're separated or you can't get together, and so you're probably imagining all sorts of things. And yet the Wheel has you going forward. The Wheel is good luck. The Wheel is, yeah. And I'm pulling another card, which is the Nine of Swords reversed. Let down your guard. Relax. Stop it. Whatever you're imagining, it looks like you're just imagining it. I don't see anything based in reality here. I don't see infidelity. I don't see anyone trying to cheat you or ruin you or gossip about you. And Libras in particular are very sensitive to being gossiped about. They really like fair play. And the idea of someone behind their back talking really offends that. So you can't defend yourself if someone's talking behind your back and spreading gossip. Libras are very sensitive to that. Okay. Scorpio. Okay. I'm not kidding. I should like drink before I do Scorpio. Not that bad. Not that bad. Okay. Going in. The Nine of Swords reversed. That is anxiety alleviated. That is still anxiety, but it's alleviated to some degree. The Five of Cups and the Ten of Wands reversed. Charlotte broke the camel's back. Regret. I don't know what you're dealing with, Scorpio. The King of Wands and the Sun. I mean, the Sun and the Star are the two best cards in the deck. I say it every time it comes up. The Sun and the Star are the two best cards. The Sun is shining on the situation. The King of Wands makes me think you have control energetically, because wands are fire, so it's an energetic card of the situation. And yet I'm seeing the Ten of Cups reversed. Anxiety within the home. Let me just throw another card. The Emperor. Well, I mean, the Emperor and the King of Wands, it's a very masculine and it's a very I am in control card. And one thing that Scorpios do best is letting go of the things. It's like the straw that broke the camel's back. Okay, if you insist on doing it that way, go ahead, you do it. Scorpio won't stop you. A Pisces will try and stop you. A Cancer will try and stop you. Scorpio's like, you want to walk off that cliff? Let me get out of your way. You're not taking me with you. And that's the big difference between Pisces and Scorpio. Okay? It's Pisces that rules the 12th house. Scorpio rules the 8th. The two most difficult houses of the wheel. And yet, Pisces will grab you by the knees and please don't go, don't do this. You must save yourself, please. You know, that's why we're so often attached to addicts and people that just can't seem to get out of their own way. Scorpio, not so much. Like, you really won't let me help you? All right, let me not interfere. Do what you got to do. I always hear the Godfather voice when I think of Scorpio. It's like, you do what you got to do. You betrayed the family. Not happy with you right now. I guess if I was going to sum this up, I would say success despite sadness, success despite disappointment. That's how I'd read these cards. I will say again, if it's a family, then the parental unit is strong. The Emperor, the King of Wands. The Sun, great cards. I mean, it could be that you're in one of those, the kids aren't responding well to being home. The Ten of Cups reversed. And yet rules are rules. That's what the Emperor says. Rules are rules. Not being unreasonable, not being a tyrant, because it's not reversed. But it's just, this is how we do things. And I don't see any page cards here. I wouldn't say there's a child involved. One more card. Okay, the Page of Pentacles. So there's probably a child involved. It could be, and I'm looking at the Page of Pentacles, it could be an older child. If there are two homes, say in a case of a divorce, there could be an issue of the kid wanting to go from one house to the other, or being very hurtful, choosing to stay in the house of maybe a non-custodial parent. I don't know. There's a sense of And yet I'm seeing the king here. I'm seeing the emperor. So and the page of pentacles is upright. So, and it could be just maintaining that balance. Like, no, you can't go there right now. No, we have to stay home. We can't go out. A lot of frustration. Just a lot of frustration here. And yet, Scorpio succeeds despite frustration and anxiety. Okay, Scorpio. Sagittarius. So we start off with the Four of Swords, and that is a lovely card for this time of shelter in place and isolation, because it is a card of respite and peace after hard endeavors. It's oddly enough, it's a sarcophagus. It's actually a coffin, but that there you have at rest. Peace at rest. Okay, but it is Sagittarius we're talking about. So we see the Eight of Swords being bound in place. I'll rest, goddamn it, but I'm not going to be happy about it. You know, Sag hates being tied down. And we see the Four of Cups reversed. Now Sag is doing some thinking. That can't be good. Knight of Swords taking action. Five of Swords. Oh, not going on the attack. Standing back. But the Six of Cups reversed. Some aspect of cohabitation, some aspect of hang on. Ten of Pentacles. I would say with Sag, someone is getting on their last nerve. Okay? And you're just not going to go there because you're stuck in the house with them. There's this sense of I'm only putting up with this because I can't leave, right now. I don't see it being a financial issue. Ten of Pentacles, security in the home. But this is one time when Sag is either needs Knight of Swords. Ace of Wands. Well, I will tell you, it looks as though it's not work. Work and money are secure in this case. But there is a sense of knowing what you want emotionally, and somehow that's not being met. Emotional needs not being met. The Six of Cups reversed. The Five of Swords reversed. Not going to say anything about it right now. Going to let it play out. Going to watch a little bit longer, which is unlike a Sag, who usually cannot control themselves when it comes to speaking out. Another fire sign. Excuse me. Sag's biggest Achilles heel is hoof and mouth disease. They can be counted on to say the wrong thing at the absolute worst possible time. No one is more blunt than a Sag. In the interest of being honest to a fault, yeah, that's for Sag. Both love him and hate him for it, But you want me to tell you the truth, don't you? Well, can you temper it a little bit? Does it have to be that honest? For Sag, the answer is going to be yes. And the thing with Aries can be just as honest, okay, and just as blunt. But Aries is crushed when you really say to them, "Hey, that really hurt my feelings. That wasn't cold." They're like, "Oh my God, no, I didn't mean it like that. I'm so sorry." If they care for you and they genuinely said something insensitive and you call them on it, they are falling all over themselves apologizing. It's sad and sweet too. Okay. My dad was an Aries. China's an Aries. I have a lot of Aries people around. But yeah, that's the difference. But Sag is like, I'm not going to apologize for saying accurate things. I was just being honest and accurate. That skirt looks terrible on you. Yeah, it's like, okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, Capricorn. Well, we see the Ten of Swords reversed, coming out of a difficult situation. Temperance reversed, justice reversed. Dear God. Things out of balance, not fair. Queen of Pentacles reversed, Ace of Pentacles reversed. Well, we know what Capricorn's pissed off about here. Just absolute not enjoying this whole idea of things slowing down, or the whole idea of financial systems that are slowing down, the idea of, you know, how unfair. I don't think it's lost on Capricorn when you look at the bigger picture, because they are big picture people. Capricorn is that sign. First of all, they climb. They always climb, you know. But they are excellent at information. I know a lot of Capricorns are information systems people. If they're CFOs, they don't just know the financial, they know everything from where the CEO to the janitor and all the support help. They know the whole dynamic, the whole diagram. That's how Capricorn thinks. And they know who's responsible for what and how it's supposed to get done. I mean, their brain is programmed that way. Very methodical thinker. If not, check that moon sign, what house that comes in at. But being 8 times out of 10, Capricorn thinks methodically. And so Capricorn right now is racing to try and understand not just the short-term financial issues, but the long-term financial issues of what's going on right now. And I'm going to say with Capricorn, the one card that has nothing to do with money is the Six of Swords, which is always, for me, travel over a body of water, big travel, big trip, justice reversed, temperance reversed. It could speak to concerns for something overseas. It could be, again, trying to make sense of the financial dynamic globally. I'm going to throw one more card. Seven of Pentacles reversed. Now I'm going to really put this down to money in this case. And I'm going to say Capricorn, more than other signs, has the best grasp on what this means globally. Many Americans are faulted for only looking at the world through a very narrow, United States of America focus. But for those of us who watch like the BBC, TV Al Jazeera, we realize that America's problems and concerns are often further down the list for other countries, because other countries actually exist. Who knew? We don't get taught that very much in school. Everything is through this myopic of America. And so in this instance, looking at the bigger global view, mainly for business and money, but long-term issues and how this is going to shake out. And guys, it doesn't shake out well. Doesn't shake out well. And Capricorn might be concerned about their own business, their own industry, in terms of how they can position it to recover as fast as possible. Okay? Aquarius. Aw, Carrie, I know. Okay, Aquarius. King of Swords reversed, Death, and the Empress. Ooh, okay. So earlier we saw the Queen of Swords reversed at the top of the reading, and in this case we see the King of Swords reversed. Again, it could be a man who has mental challenges. It could also be a man who's behaving very badly, but the Death card is right next to it. Okay, so in this case, for Aquarius, I would wonder, first of all, if you're concerned about a father or grandfather, older man who might be sick, very sick. Don't forget, air, swords are air, and air is lungs and breathing, and here we see the Death card. I also see the Empress, which is the matriarch. So there's a female handling this. It could be the female Aquarius, mother of the family, but Strength, the Chariot, and the Devil. Wow. That's a lot of, in a 6-card spread, 1, 2, 3, 5 of them are major arcana cards. So the King of Swords reversed the top, Death, the Empress, Strength, Chariot, Devil. Jesus. Honey, I gotta tell you, the Devil in this case does speak to addictions. King of Swords reversed might be involved in some toxic behavior. I mean, that does go together. Not a great combination either. There's no depression here. Strength in the Chariot moving forward. I'm not worried about the Empress because she'll get her ass out of there. Okay. It may be a situation where a female needs to leave a bad situation. Now, we've also talked about the very negative aspect of being shelter in place with someone who is abusive. This reading speaks to that spot on. Speaks to a female who would be Strength, Chariot, leaving the Devil and Death, King of Swords, an abusive or male. Now, we also know that sometimes people with Alzheimer's can get violent, and stress and the environment. I talk to people all the time. I'm hearing from people who are in the care of very old people. Well, why can't we have this? Well, I don't understand. And if you're already like stretched as tight as you can go, it's like, stop fighting with me. I don't have that. We can't go there. We have to break our routines. And that's a struggle here. Aquarius, if this doesn't pertain to you, then check on your relatives. Again, check on your friends. Make sure that someone that you love or care for doesn't need a place to run to. Okay? Make sure you don't need to open your home up to somebody who really needs to get out from a bad situation, because that may be happening here. All right? I'll throw one more card. The Hierophant. The other major arcana card. It's also an institution card. It could be that someone needs to get to the hospital. Okay? Hospital or inpatient. But, yeah. Okay? And all those extra cards I threw, now I need to shuffle again for Pisces. Shots, good to see you too. Yeah, I need to do more with astrology. Oh boy, in terms of teaching but nowhere, nowhere what house your sun and your moon are in. And because that is your big personality, along with your Mars, your Venus, your Mercury, how you communicate, what and how you love, how you get angry, how you get passionate, fires you up. The other planets are important too, don't get me wrong, but where those are placed. And what's really fascinating, and I will talk about this, and I'll do a video one day on the progress chart, which you can do on astro.com. You can get your progress chart, because we come in with a certain way of doing things, but we grow and we change. So looking at our progress chart and the outer planets that really weight us move very slowly. So Pluto may only move 2 houses in your whole life. I mean, they spend like 30 years in a house. Might move 3. Okay. Saturn moves 2.5 years through a house. Neptune moves extremely slowly. Jupiter, I think, spends a year in a house. I trying to remember. I think Mars is a month in a house. They change houses every month. Mercury moves quick. We know that. But anyway. So you can go on astro.com, and when you're doing that selection that I've shown you so many times, natal chart and transits, just go down and get natal chart and progress chart and see where you've evolved to. It's pretty interesting stuff. All right, Pisces, what's going on? Okay. Pisces, the wheel reversed, stuck in place, plain and simple. Two of Cups reversed, the Death card. Now, I would normally be concerned with the end of a relationship with that, but I'm looking at the Four of Wands. I would be more concerned with the end of a friendship for Pisces than I would be the end of a relationship. Why? Because there's no broken hearts in here. And if Pisces is ending a relationship, there's a broken heart, okay? There's no way in hell, you know? There's not a lot of emotion going on here, except for the Two of Cups reversed. Two people want two different things, and the Death card is here, so something's going to change. And as usual, it looks like the Pisces is going to be the one changing it. The Six of Swords reversed, the Four of Wands upright, the Knight of Pentacles reversed. Money not coming in and stuck in place. I'll throw another card, the Magician reversed. Oh boy. Out of your element, Pisces. King of Wands. I'm going to say that Pisces may be being urged either by someone they live with or business in general, what they do, to do something outside the scope of their job description or what they've done in terms of their career. It's like saying, okay, you can't do this right now, so now you're going to do this. And we're seeing that. We're seeing people, even in hospitals and one more card, Page of Pentacles. Okay, so money coming in, Pisces having to make a big change in terms of how they do business, and I say that Six of Swords reversed, Knight of Pentacles reversed, Magician reversed. Magician reversed in the Death card would always speak to a big change and not doing what you're best at. So I'm trying to think of how I would compare that. This would be the very creative Pisces doing very mundane desk work, for example, being stuck behind the desk, data entry, whatever it takes to but you're still working, right? You're still pulling a paycheck? All right. I'm just trying to think of any other way I would actually phrase this. I'd almost want to be concerned with the finance of the home, but I mean, Page of Pentacles, King of Wands, I don't think it's that. The Four of Wands upright is usually happy cohabitation, usually. So I think it's really about keeping the peace and keeping money flowing, and Pisces stepping out of a comfort zone, to do something they don't necessarily love doing, again, to keep things going well. That's what I got. And I hope that helped. And I'm sorry, I did. If you saw me, I was looking at one more card. Being a Pisces myself, it's the Hermit card. So this idea of working solo, being alone, really being isolated. Pisces is another sign, like Libra, doesn't do well with that. very sociable creatures. So it would be like, well, let's say somebody who is used to very much working in the public eye, being said, well, now you're going to be in the back washing dishes. Now you're going to do what it takes to keep the business going. You can't do this, so you're going to help in accounting, or you're going to clean the building. I mean, we're going to keep you busy, but you're doing stuff you like doing. All right, that's what I'm seeing. Busy work, not necessarily the kind of stuff that Pisces likes to do. Anybody have any questions? I hate to leave y'all early. It's only 11:10 for us. That's so early. If there's any questions out there, this is a great time to ask. Looking at the comments here. Hey, Susan. All right. Well, one thing we know for sure is that the shelter in place is working. It's slowing the roll of the virus substantially. Please keep your kids at home. Please. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it with kids who won't do it or won't listen. Take keys away, take phones away, turn their damn phone off. Okay? Get harsh, because this has to be brokered somehow. All right? And I never want to tell another parent how to parent, but in this case, parents need to parent. And that's all I got. Hopefully we're all going to come out of this okay. I think we will personally, and again, I'm more concerned, like Capricorn, with this long-term financial systems and global impact more than I am the virus. I have to say, doesn't feel quite right to me. Yeah, well, hey Faith, how are you? I'm going to end. I'm not going to take up any more time. I am trying to spend less time on social media and with so many people making videos, and I want to be like the one who doesn't do that. There has been some brownouts in different areas. I don't want to be any part of anything that might slow down or impede social media or the internet in general. We need this to not go down. Guys, behave, be safe. I'll talk to you next week, okay? Bye.